it's now time to talk about perhaps the most unexpected addition to Gran Turismo 7's 1.48 update, the Volvo 240. And because I'm quite strange, it was perhaps the one that I was also most looking forward to when the silhouettes dropped, previewing this update earlier this week. But unexpected it was indeed. We knew Volvo were tipped to make a return to the franchise with the V40 that also came with this update, but no one knew about the 240. In fact, it was the only car not to be taken from the leaked data mine of cars that have come to Gran Turismo 7 over the past year or so. It's a very random, very eclectic, very Gran Turismo pick, and as such it has technically been in the franchise before, but the 240 we have this time is a slightly different version. It's a later car, a 1993, with a slightly smaller 2-litre engine. So after purchasing it from the used car dealership for about 40,000 credits, you have a mighty 109 horsepower to work with. Thankfully though, it's not as heavy as you'd expect at just over 1300 kilograms. This is also an area where the old Gran Turismo games went wrong and took the gross weight of the car, which was over 1800 kilos. But still, it comes as no surprise to anyone that it's not very fast in its top guise. I did take it out, as you can see here, on the new Clubman Cup event that's supposed to be for both of these Volvos at 400 performance points recommended, but obviously at 317 stock, the Volvo couldn't even make it past the 7th placed car. Despite it struggling to get up the hills and the aforementioned lack of competitiveness though, it was quite fun like this, on comfort medium tyres and with that modest power going to skinny rear tyres. I did enjoy chucking it around the corners. The rear is quite easily led, even on the entry to corners before you get on the power, and it just feels a lot lighter than your sheer size of the thing would have you to believe. However, we needed to tune and customise it and see where the potential really lies in this thing. Visually speaking, there are a few nice subtle mods that you can do, some lights, removing the headlight wiper, deleting some trim from the doors and around the bumper area, as well as a splitter and slightly silly wing. You can also fit a wide body. It does look a bit tacky, a bit bolt-on, but to be honest, I think that's perfect for the 240. It's very on brand and kind of what you'd expect to see if you saw a modified 240 out in the wild. What about the performance though? At the moment, as far as this update, there is no engine swap, but you can turbocharge the engine and get it to a pretty healthy 354 horsepower. And once again, the weight is a positive surprise as you can reduce it down to just over 1000 kilos. Although it must be said, this does raise the performance point level quite high, considering that power to weight ratio. On sports hard tyres, with other racing parts fitted, it's sitting at over 570 points. But we had to give it a go, like we do with these reviews when a car's tuned up, and put it into a point appropriate event to see if it sinks or swims. So then, entering a European Clubman Cup FR event at Brands Hatch, how did the Volvo do? Well, it was hilarious fun. Not the fastest, but honestly, you just need to do it. It was very much capable for this event and did win. It feels a bit leery on account of those skinny tyres and just being old, but it makes an absolutely great sound, lots of turbo chatter and whistles. When fitting the racing transmission, the gears are by default quite short, so you bang through them very quickly. You have to keep an eye on the rear, make sure you don't get too carried away there, but overall it's still pretty effective, and it just feels faster than maybe it is. Plus, decked out in full touring car livery, vibes are just immaculate. Of course, if you want a bit less of a challenge or something slightly less extreme, you can tune it down to 500, 450 performance points or whatever. You'll still have a lot of fun with it and it will serve you decently enough. I doubt anyone's going to use this to set leaderboard to light, so why not? It's here for fun, so let's have fun with it. And on a final note there, bit of a disappointment, I did try doing a drift setup for it, but that's actually proved quite difficult and I haven't quite figured that out yet. I'm sure someone will though, and I want to see if we get an engine swap for it next month. In the meantime though, It's only 40 grand from the used car dealership, like I said, so you haven't really got much to lose by giving it a go. That's going to be it from me, so thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.